Of course, the woman who is quite literally in a situation where their husband is a cheating hoe bag has heard a rumor about Joellen being a cheating hoe bag on her husband. Yeah, of course you've heard that, Rula. I do believe that there is a rumor out there about Joellen that she's cheated on her husband. I do. This is the same woman that we have learned has had a rumor about her being a swinger. That we heard a rumor about her having a threesome with her tanning salon owner and his wife. I'm sure on top of all that, there is a rumor out there that she's cheated on her husband. I don't believe it, but I know you do. Hell, that might even be the reason why the bee started attacking you because it knew that you were coming with some bullshit about Joellen. But listen, Rula, it's nice that we got to see you for a total of 6 minutes this entire episode outside of you doing a somersault into those foam cubes with your child earlier in the beginning of the episode. But we do see that next week you are finally going to leave your remote work from home office inside of your home and you will finally attend a group event just to hear more things about your husband. All right, let's just get to the meat and potatoes of this episode, the Liz and Joellen of it all, because this was pretty much what this entire episode was all about. Are you Team Liz? Are you Team Joellen? The number of people I have seen be Team Liz is close to zero. And why is that? Well, let's get into it. So we have just got to the place where Rosie's husband's going to sing to all of us, and Liz has already told Joellen to fuck off as we're entering the building, and Alicia's crying at the table. Now, I will be honest with y'all. Before we get into this episode, leading into it from last week, there was a little part of me that understood a little bit where Liz was coming from with her frustrations with Joellen. Not at all with Alicia, and only with, if you are going to tell me and Kelsey and our husbands in one conversation without Alicia, yeah, Alicia wasn't homeless. I don't know what that means. Then why is it when Alicia is here, you are now trying to act like maybe you never even said that. And now you're trying to just make it seem like, we're taking Alicia's feelings and, her life and we're invalidating all that stuff from her when we're really not. I feel like that's how Liz has been viewing what Joellen is doing. In my opinion, I just think Joellen is realizing like there's no reason to beat this woman down into thinking something about herself that she clearly does not think. She does think she was homeless. I would also consider now hearing everything and her family agreeing with her that she was in fact homeless. Not the definition of homeless, not toothless like Liz is trying to work with Dorit's organization, but you get what I'm saying. However, once we get to the table, any side with Liz that I maybe had was definitely thrown out because your friend is crying at the table, boo-hoo crying that she had just gotten into this argument with you. She's also having to defend her childhood and the trauma that comes with it. And now you're acting more like an asshole at the table, Liz. And Joellen, I applaud you for trying to smile through all the bullshit, but this smile was going to quickly fade off of your face. And poor Ashley, I feel like Ashley has been walking into so many scenes lately not knowing at all what the hell is going on. One thing I will have to unfortunately just not be on Joellen's side on is once we were done out here and we went inside and we sat down, I really wish Joellen would have let it go. Like I really, really wish she would have just stopped because once we got to the part where Liz is now twirling her finger in her hair and pushing her chair back, it's like there's a whole ass man performing Frank Sinatra right there. Y'all forget why we're here. And I'm sorry, but I desperately need to know what she whispered in her ear and made her get up. Why are we going to forget about that? Did we talk about that at the reunion at least? But we're going to fast forward to this meeting here because this is where we find out from Liz out of her own mouth that she does not consider Joellen a best friend at all. And that's just really crazy for Joellen to even say. Now, I also was like, whoa, because if I'm remembering correctly, I have to go back and look, but the first episode, it definitely made it seem like it was Alicia, Liz, Kelsey, and Joellen were like the foursome of the group, the clique. But I don't think Joellen was attacking Liz at all. Like I said earlier, I can see where Liz was coming from with the Joellen thing because of the conversation they just had with the husbands. However, what you, Liz, are getting frustrated and upset about is at the end of the day over another human's childhood experience and how they felt going through it and a word that they use to describe it, which would be homeless. You say Joellen's fake, but what type of real friend is reprimanding someone over the word homeless this many times? You said in the car, it was one time. It was not one time. because you actually brought it up in the car. That's how this whole thing got started again. And also, if we're going to talk about being fake, you've apparently been thinking these negative things about Joellen for a while now. So for it to just now be coming out, but you've been in Joellen's life for this long, that does seem pretty fake to me. And to wrap up this whole Joellen versus Liz thing, I am and have been from day one Team Joellen, even before this Liz feud. Do I wish that Joellen maybe would have pumped the brakes once we went back inside at the show in the beginning of the episode? Yes, but doesn't matter at the end of the day because I just need to know what the hell did she whisper in your ear that made you get up and leave? Because the only thing I could think you were whispering is, Bill's finally paying us something for Kelsey. Because that would make me want to get up and leave too. Because what do you mean he's finally paying something for Kelsey? What is he paying? Oh, her gym membership. Okay. Now, on one hand, Kelsey, I'm totally with you. If somebody is going and is offering to pay something of mine in this economy, I'm giving you the link. However, if I'm in a relationship with somebody and as they tell me themselves, I put them through hell long enough, I maybe need to start looking at some job applications. Pizza Hut, are you hiring? Alicia, are you hiring? Because I believe I heard you say that this man even went as far as to be celibate for you while he waited for you. Let's call up Pizza Mia. What's Alicia's place called? Okay, we're gonna end this recap on this beautiful painting that Joellen did of Kelsey. I wanted to use this to talk about Kelsey because Kelsey had that scene with her husband and his family at the beach. I like Kelsey and her husband together. I do like Kelsey's husband. And I think it's really interesting to have a housewife as young as Rosie already with the standpoint of like, I don't want kids. And now having a husband that at first was okay with that. And now we're seeing perhaps that isn't. I think storyline wise, she's good on longevity. Like she's got at least a good storyline right there for a few seasons. And also, Joellen in this scene was right. Kelsey, if you do feel like I did nothing wrong to Liz, you should also be able to tell Liz that. But it would seem as if people are afraid of Liz for some reason, or people are maybe intimidated, scared to speak up a bit. Why is that? Do y'all think she's actually tied to the mafia or something? What do y'all think?